Hey, this is going to be a YouTube video that I'm going to post on YouTube and my Facebook page, trying to keep future being screwed by the Oklahoman from happening. I vowed never to take the Oklahoman again after they laid off a bunch of people that I know, downsized, and then I think and family members that actually worked on the presses, and I think they have just recently even gone to Tulsa to print the thing. But they laid off a bunch of people who would by now, I don't know whether that was 10, 15 years ago, people by now that I went to high school with, UCO and OU with, that would be retired as journalists in the paper field. You can see I saw, but I ended up taking the paper one time before, and what happened is that after the expiration date of the special deal, they kept throwing it, and I ended up paying like $50, $30 or something for the weeks when I thought that it would, my bad, I guess, for not calling them and canceling the deal. But anyway, I did it again, even pissed off at him. Felt sorry for this guy. I've sold things door to door, and it's not easy, not fun. So I took it for it was either 90, or it was either 3 months or 4 months, $20, the Sunday paper only. And the guy said, well, it'll be delayed a week. It won't be this Sunday, it'll be next Sunday. But he said, however, you may get a paper this Sunday because everybody's going to get a free one. I don't know what he meant by everybody getting a free one, but anyway, as you can see, it's 3/27, near the end of March. The next Sunday I did get a paper. I guess I wrote that off to that being the free one that they pitched to everybody, that I actually only saw in my yard and a neighbor across the street's yard who takes the paper anyway. The next week I didn't get one, so I said, well, he said there'd be a week delay, so that's my week delay. Well, the next week I still didn't get one. So I called a lady, and it was late. I didn't wake up till like 11 o'clock. And that's about the cutoff time. And she said, I will try. I don't know whether I can get you one or not, but you need to call earlier. And at that time I said, well, just, I said, I have a chain link fence. And I know that's a little bit daunting because I've thrown papers before. And she said, well, we'll pitch it into your driveway. And at the time I agreed to that. Well, next week rolled around, still no paper, okay? This time, though, I was awake early, so I called them early, and I talked to a gentleman, and he said, okay, we'll get that out to you. So, that was like maybe between 7 and 8 o'clock. Well, by 10 o'clock, I still hadn't got my paper, so I called again. This time, I really called to just tell them to cancel it. And could I get my $20 back? I said, I really took this because I felt sorry for the guy. I really won't read it. I really don't want it. I really don't want to have to call in like I'm having to call in to get it. I don't want it that badly. I don't want it at all. Well, the guy said, oh, no, please, we'll get it out to you. We'll get it out to you right away. It says you want it thrown in your driveway. And I said, no, I have a chain link fence, and all that I really want is to get it over the chain link fence, because it's always wrapped in a plastic bag, so wet's not going to bother it that bad, and so forth, so that I don't have to unlock my gate and go out and get it out of the public domain out there. Well, he said, okay. Well, I went and sat down at the kitchen table and just kind of forgot about it. Didn't think I was going to get a paper again. That's per usual. And all of a sudden, I thought someone had shot at the house. I thought I was the victim of a drive-by shooting. I jumped out of my chair, as a matter of fact, and hid behind my range. Something hit my front door so hard that I really thought I was being shot at, honestly. Windows rattled. If it had hit a window, or if it hit high on my screen door, I'm sure it would have shattered. It would have broken it, at least, cracked it. Well, finally got the courage, went out, and sure enough, it was a paper on the front porch. He had walked into my front yard, I guess pissed because I'd called twice. Who the hell knows? So I immediately called them back again, and I said, no. I called them back a third time, and I said, no, I want it canceled. You've got some kind of maniac delivering your paper, and I don't want him throwing anything at my house. And we argued back and forth and everything. He said, please give us one more chance. And I said, again, all he's got to do is toss it over the fence. Well, the next day I got my paper. I mean, the next Sunday, I got my paper, regular, tossed over the fence. Very good. Okay? Now it's last Sunday, which is the 14th, and this is what happened. Okay? Let me take you outside. I don't know if you can see it or not. That's the paper from last weekend. Let me walk down the steps carefully. It is outside the fence. That's last week. There it is. I mean, it's faded now. No one would want to. Can't get it on screen. There it is. It's faded now. It is in a plastic bag, but there's probably still indication in it of what date it is. It was last week. I just left it out there. Now this is the 22nd. It was the 21st. I did not get a paper yesterday. So, you know, this is kind of a little documentation as to what the Oklahoman and their delivery people, I mean, print is dead. And I don't know if that's not a good thing. It's really dead to me. But in any event, this is what the Oklahoman, how the Oklahoman treats me. And I will never take, I promise, to the memory of all those people who probably still are unemployed, I will never take this paper again. And this is my attempt to keep them from screwing me around and not dropping the 3-month or 4-month subscription when it's due, and continuing to think this guy is throwing this paper and then charging me for it, for whatever I don't call him for. I'll try to call him and remind him that the time is up, but this is my attempt to do that ahead of time.